He always has
Um,
the S, but the S has like a little bit of a different font sometimes.
well, yeah, because it doesn't stand for Superman. It's like a coincidence or something. At least in the more like modern versions,
What does it stand for? Sup?
it's like the family crest, uh, the House of L or whatever.
The House of L? Welcome to part 2 of my interview with Ricardo from RAD Studio. He's an artist, gamer, and comic fan. If you missed part 1, speed round and probability game, there's a link in the description. This week, we chat about 3 specific comics, how they've evolved, and why you might want to check them out. Thanks for being awesome and showing up today. Now let's get into it.
I've been reading Absolute Batman and Absolute Superman recently, and in Absolute Batman, a lot of it, Alfred or Pennyworth is like writing, giving us exposition, but that's like overlaid with the action going on. So it feels almost like watching a movie. It's kind of cinematic, like just having the voiceover, well, like the internal voiceover or reading it. And it's really neat. It's really cool. I'm really enjoying that series.
Here's the main topic. Pick a door.
Three.
Okay, so 3. What's behind door number
Ah,
3?
it looks like half an Absolute vodka bottle pasted over Absolute Superman's head.
Absolute Superman.
Yeah, I get it.
Okay, close your eyes while I scroll down to his page.
Okay.
Are they closed?
I'm looking down, so I can't see the
Okay,
screen.
good enough. All right. Here is Absolute Superman's page. You could open your eyes now.
They were open already. Oh, awesome. I just wasn't looking at the screen.
Okay. Well,
I don't know why I have to like specify that. I mean, it was the same end result, but I had to let you know that they weren't closed. They were just looking down.
well, that's fine. I didn't want you to spoil the other slides that are so much different than this one. So,
Okay.
so Absolute Superman. I've heard of
Mhm.
Superman.
Yeah, I think most people have.
I have not heard of this. What is this?
So there's this absolute line of comic books that DC is making. I'm going to use a reference that you're not going to get if you don't know. Marvel did something like this years ago with the Ultimate Timeline or whatever you want to call it. It's just like a reimagining another universe or multiverse or whatever of the characters. So their origin stories are a little bit different. Who they are is a little bit different. So this absolute line, I've only read like volume one and two of Batman and Superman. Wonder Woman's up next, and I do want to check out the Martian Manhunter.
Absolute Superman. So he's
Mhm.
not. Is he still named Clark Kent?
I don't know. I don't remember. I think so.
Because it's like the same guy, but a different. They're just kind of rebooting the story because it's a different world, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily say they're the same. They're the same character. Like it's both Superman, but Superman. I don't know. But the Clark part is not really shown too much in this absolute line that I've read so far. Like he's just from Krypton. His power set is a little different. He has a lot of the same abilities, but the cape is alive. Essentially, it's like some kind of AI from Krypton that like follows him around so it can protect him and talk to him. He's a lot different. Like, at least in the first volume that I've read. I'm currently starting the second one, but um, he was very quiet and shy and kind of like old school, like retro. Like everything was really advanced on Krypton, right? Their science is beyond ours, but he liked writing stories himself instead of prompting an AI to do it or whatever. And he would get in trouble because that's not what everybody was supposed to do. Like you're all, you go to class and you tell the computer what subject you want the report on, and then the computer does it, and then you just turn that in. Um, so I'm guessing there is that component too. He still likes to write. He's a reporter in the main line Superman. He's works at the Daily Planet and whatnot.
Is this a way for the writers to take something that, like, there's so much story behind, so much canon, and be like, we're starting over?
It's yeah, it sort of is a way, or it's a way to take something familiar and make it different.
Okay. And I don't know. Was going to ask you about his cape, but you already said his cape is different because it kind of looks cool here. But
Yep.
these are just every live action Superman. I just thought these
Mm.
are kind of funny looking.
Yeah, so I it's a little small, but on my screen.
Yeah.
But the top portion, those are they were like serials, like the kind of almost like radio shows, but on TV.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know which one it is. I think it's that first one. They did a thing where when he would fly, they'd animate it, but like a cartoon, like a Disney animation. So like he'd jump and become the animation and land behind a rock, and then the actor would run out. Like it was interesting. I think it's the black and white one, but it
Yeah,
might
that
be the
seems like
second one
something they
there.
might have to do in black and white.
But I thought it was really neat that they were able to pull that off, and it looks
Pretty
silly,
fun.
right? But I mean, the idea of somebody flying is silly, right?
And then I think this might be one of the movies, and then I think this is one of the TV shows. But it's
I
like
know
a
the
very
top is like
similar.
Christopher. Yeah, he's always tall, dark hair, sometimes blue eyes, sometimes not.
He always has
Um,
the S, but the S has like a little bit of a different font sometimes.
well, yeah, because it doesn't stand for Superman. It's like a coincidence or something. At least in the more like modern versions,
What does it stand for? Sup?
it's like the family crest, uh, the House of L or whatever.
The House of L? The S on there? That's what it.
Well, because he's like Kal El,
Yeah.
and his dad's like Jor El, and his mom has three names, which is weird. I forget what it's like, Lana something L. Like she has more for some reason.
She has her original name too, or something.
I think so.
Well, so it. But it does stand for Superman. Like in terms of somebody wrote a comic and they put an S on his
Oh, well, I
chest.
mean, it's probably the most recognizable, or if not
Yeah.
the most, top three recognizable symbols for a fictional character, or top 10 or whatever.
I forgot. I'll make sure to give credit to Reaper underscore 64. Hopefully they're not a crazy, horrible person.
But yeah, like I think most of the live action takes on him were fine. I didn't really watch the CW show, so I couldn't really
Yeah.
comment on that. But a lot of people say that, what's his name, Tyler or something with an H,
Burden.
that he's a great yeah, no, that he's a great Superman, and he doesn't look traditionally like Superman. He's a little bit, darker complexion, but he embodies the character, right? I think the best stories about Superman are like the slice of life kind of stories,
Hmm.
like what he does when he's not, flying around space or beating up aliens, or, outwitting Lex Luthor or whatever. A character like that is he's indestructible, right? Like, I mean, there's magic is his weakness, but ignoring that, like nothing else can really hurt him, right? He's invulnerable, and so the best stories are just the things that make him human, the things that
Yeah.
make him more relatable, that make him human, and yeah.
And these are supposed to be from Superman fan 1222508. These are supposed to be the suits, but I assume this isn't like comics or cartoons.
I can see a bunch of different
They all look kind
things
of the
there.
same.
Yeah, I mean, his costume hasn't undergone that many changes. I think if anything, it's more in live action that you'll see a lot of changes. Because
Yeah.
for the most part, even the new Absolute Superman, he looks like Superman. He might look like Superman with a more emo haircut, or I don't know.
Hmm.
Um, but you see him, and you say, "Well, yeah, that's Superman." Like that's. But in the movies, they add all the details, and everything looks like army, you know, clothing or paraphernalia. So you get that look, and it's kind of like the MCU did that. Like Captain America wasn't just the blue spandex and the flag; he had harnesses and gun holder, and then
Yeah, some
boots and all that
detail because
stuff.
you don't
So,
want to be drawing that over and over in a comic necessarily, but if it's in a
well,
movie, that's cool.
yeah, it's easier to draw without the detail, but in a movie,
Yeah.
it looks silly. It doesn't look as good, right? So,
It looks like they took his little shorts away here in 2011, but
yeah,
they're
he's had
back.
versions with it and without it. I like the trunks. I don't know, like it's silly, but it's iconic at this point,
Yeah.
and he just looks weirdly naked without it. I don't
He's not
like
wearing his
Henry Cavill.
undies.
Yeah, like Henry Cavill's Superman, which I thought he was a good Superman. Don't get me wrong. I just didn't really love the costume,
Yeah.
and I don't like when they take away the trunks. I think the trunks pull it together.
They make it work.
That's right.
Okay, you gotta look down again so we can go up to another. Unless you have other things to say about Superman's.
No, just if you're a fan of Superman, there's a lot of good stuff out there. The absolute stuff is cool. I just started checking out the newest issue or newest volume, right? It has multiple issues in it. But yeah, it's like All Star Superman and Superman for All Seasons. Those are great. Check them out if you're interested in the character and don't want to just watch mindless fighting
Mm-hmm.
or read.
So an issue is like an episode, and a volume is like a series.
Yeah, or a collection, right? A collection of episodes. Because sometimes the volumes will also have like other people that crossed over, like put in order in chronological order. So
Oh,
it can be anything. Like I don't know. There's all kinds of stuff, right? Because it's like literature, so you
well,
can
and if you
find a
can
billion.
publish it 14 different ways, you can sell it 14 different ways.
Yep,
This one has a
ain't that the
different
truth?
cover, right? And you could buy it.
Oh, well, they do that already, and they do like second and third prints and variant covers that are worth a lot. You get special covers at Comic Cons for certain issues. So, I mean, it is in shitified, a little commodified, right? Like, but what isn't nowadays? So,
Well, and it could be cool if you got to do just a cover of something. Like,
oh, for sure, I would love to to get published
yeah, that'd be
for like
awesome.
Superman or Batman or somebody or Spider-Man. Yeah.
Okay, pick another door.
Oh, let's go to
Dun, dun, dun. You can look. You gotta see what you got first.
now. We got Vodka Man.
Vodka Bat.
That's right.
Absolute.
Yeah.
Absolute Batman. This is the guy you're talking
Oh,
about where this bat thing comes off.
yeah. He's a chunky boy. Like he's really big. Look at how tiny his head is.
Yeah.
The Batman story is pretty similar. You know, everyone knows his parents died. In the absolute universe, his mom lived, and they're not like super rich. Like, his dad was a teacher, and I don't know what his mom was, but I know she ends up, working for like the mayor's office and all that stuff later on, or it could be police. I don't remember offhand, but Bruce is not rich. He's just he's an engineering, like an engineer. Like he studied that and he has a good job. So he has money, but not like Batman money. A lot of his toolkit is like, force of will and whatever he like engineering concepts, like the way his cape works. And the bat emblem is like actually the head of an axe that he can wield and stuff like that. So, and he can make spikes.
It sounds like they're also updating, like, Superman was just perfect, right? The original one. He's like the
Sure.
good boy and he's strong and he does all these things. And Batman was rich because people wanted, they're like, ooh, being rich. That's amazing. And now it's like being rich, ew. So now Batman's not rich.
I think a motif, like a common motif for Batman was always that he was something of a detective, right? Like it was even like the tagline for some of the stories, like the
Mm.
world's greatest detective, like Sherlock Holmes or whatever. The video games lean into that. Like if you've ever played Arkham, that's a lot of it is puzzle solving. I think the new movie with Robert Pattinson, it's not really new anymore, but the most recent one, it kind of went back to that more grounded in reality, less fantastical, fighting aliens and supervillains. But I think these retellings are interesting. Um, I don't think it's just currently like chasing a trend. I just think that the storytelling is done in a better way than it used to be, right? Like the origin stories back then didn't really matter. They were kind of just an afterthought. Like, because how do you have a guy who's like Superman, right? Like the only explanation is that he's an alien, right? Like, because no human can jump, a tall building in a single bound and faster locomotive and all that stuff. So I think it's just updates to it. Before I read it and saw the story and learned anything about it, just like the initial like, oh, look at the new Batman. I'm like, oh my god, that's horrible. Like why are his legs so thick and why why is his head so tiny? But like the character, it works. The art style is pretty cool. And in the second volume, he gets to fight Bane, which makes him look like, yeah, a tiny little guy. So,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, I think the Batman one has more changes and well, Superman has a lot of changes too, but just the way he operates is completely different. And it's a younger Batman, so it's not like he has every answer like Batman usually does. Like everybody jokes about Batman, given enough prep time, he can beat anybody or whatever.
Hmm.
And I don't feel like that's necessarily the case with this one. This one's more kind of brute forcing stuff. Um, but it's still been enjoyable to read through. I finished volumes 1 and 2 for Batman, and I eagerly await volume 3.
So did volume 2 have an end?
Yeah, it was more like volume 2. The arc was about Bane, which I actually have the issue here.
Well, no spoilers because it is new, but okay. So
So
it gets to the
and
end
there's
and
little Batman, tiny Batman.
and it has like sort of a resolution, but there's stuff up in the air
The,
for the next story, right?
well, the Bane portion is done.
Yeah.
At least this portion of Bane is done.
Right. Does it ever remind you of soap operas?
Yeah, I mean, like no one's truly dead. They're like Uncle Ben and Batman's parents. Like those are the only ones who are truly dead. Like everybody else dies and comes back, or they were pulled out the minute before doom and held somewhere else or whatever. Like,
And it's a story
um,
that can go on and on forever if it needs
yeah.
to. And
Well, and for me, I tend to like the Erstwhile stories, or that's what DC calls them, like multiverse stuff. Like this is a one shot or a limited series of like Batman that's a woman now, or Batman that is like doomsday powers or whatever. Like Dark Knight Metal. Um, that was a really cool, interesting series. I don't think I've read all of it, but I have a couple of the different variants of Batman. And it's like this whole world of negativity, like negative compared to the current world. So like the heroes are bad guys and whatever, right? And like watching all these variants of Batman perform evil is pretty cool. But I like that. To me, it's like world building, but like universe building, like character building. Like that, Batman's not just the Batman from the 80s or 90s or 2000s or 60s or whatever. Like there's a totality of it, and getting to see all the different versions paints a different picture or broader picture, but at the same time brings the character himself more into focus. Like it's almost like he's a real person, right? Like that's kind of the feeling you get from all these different stories.
so if are there different writers across,
Oh yeah, definitely.
but can you tell?
Can me personally no, because I follow the characters and not necessarily the writers. But like Scott Snyder does a lot of it. He does the current run of Absolute Batman. Like he's a writer. Comic arcs are referred to by the writer of like the run or the arc or whatever you want to call it. So it'll be like, oh, people love Pat's Hulk run from 19 whatever to 19 whatever. And they're different, right? Every writer brings something different. Every artist brings something
Mm.
different. Uh, Easiest one I can think of off the top of my head is like Todd McFarlane. He drew Spider-Man for a while. And his Spider-Man is like the one that's all limbs everywhere, super gangly. The webs are crazy detailed, and like if you see Todd McFarlane Spider-Man, you know it's his. You know it's him who it's Todd McFarlane who drew this. You can easily pick out the artist, or at least I can. Like it's very visual.
Yeah.
The writing sometimes they're like writing part of a like I said shared universe, so the stories are kind of determined sometimes. Um, so that's why it's hard for me to pick up on who the writers are.
And
Um,
the voice of comics is probably visual. Like
yeah,
maybe somebody says the same catchphrase over and over, and that's how you could tell the writer. But I think what you're saying makes a lot more sense. The artist, you can tell a different artist through these sections, even if someone's emulating them, right? Because I'm sure they don't ink every single frame, right? Someone has to help
right,
them.
right. And like for me, I mean, Spider-Man's probably the character I can recognize the most different artists from, because like he's so expressive, right? Like, and I'm not saying that Batman and Superman can't be. I just think you can draw them in a generic way, and I think Spider-Man doesn't really have that. Like, the artist's personality really shines through, and he's had a lot of great artists too. So,
You're probably
um,
looking for that, right? You're looking for a Spider-Man who looks a little bit different and new, because then you can say this is different and new. Buy it, right? This isn't the same story you've been seeing. This is the absolute
Well, it's like
Batman.
anything else, right? Like at the end of the day, they're trying to sell the comics, right? They're not just
Yeah.
making them for posterity's sake or whatever. I do think that the main draw is probably the artist. And I'm
Yeah.
not, that's not to like take away from the writers. I know there are some people in the industry who just write and their work is amazing.
It's a team.
Yeah, it's a collaboration. And a lot of times you'll see the same inker and penciler work together, or this colorist always works with, such and such. So I think I think it's pretty cool. Pretty interesting.
This is supposed to be from Used Strategy 9. Batman's Through the Years. Who's this Rainbow Batman?
Oh, it's like something I forget his name. Let's see if I can find it.
It says Detective Comics.
Mm-hmm.
He's wearing bright costumes to distract criminals from Robin's injured arm. So that one I thought was interesting. He's got a bunch of little weirdo ones.
Yeah. Yeah, he has a lot of different costumes. And especially because Batman, especially when toys were a thing, he
Mm.
was the best character because he didn't have any superpowers of his own, right? So he needed like a scuba suit, a flying suit, an electricity suit, So like I think especially like the animated series, I used to love those toys. He had so many different versions, and they would just keep pumping him out.
Yeah, that makes sense. And he has all the little accessories and whatever too.
Yeah, and you see on the bottom there that red Batman is evil. I don't know if the Batman Who Laughs is there, but
The Joker
yeah, he has
one.
a lot of different. Yeah, that's the Batman Who Laughs.
This one looks like Superman, Batman, Green Lantern, Batman.
Hmm. There's a Flash Batman. That's the red one, the Scarlet Speedster.
I think this might be more the comics, but this is from History of the Batman, I guess.
Yeah, that's the very first one on the top there. Yeah,
1939.
he Batman is pretty known for not using guns, but that one did. The first one.
The first one?
Yeah. I think that he eventually stopped using them because like the comics authority, they were very strict on like what you were allowed to publish and not publish for a certain time, and that's why you have like the Adam West zany campy Batman.
I used to watch that.
I did too. I mean, I honestly don't remember much about it, but like I did watch it. I remember the shark episode. I think that was a movie actually. Like he had shark repellent on.
Isn't
Like that's
Jump
so
the
silly.
Shark from
That's
that?
from No, it's from Happy Days.
Oh, it's when the Fonz was on a surfboard
Yeah.
and he
Yeah, he was
jumped
like
over a
jet skiing.
shark.
Yeah, he literally jumped a shark.
And it means like you've now become a joke, right? Or you've run out of ideas or something. Is that what it
I
means?
think so. I think that's what it means. At least that the spirit of that.
Television movie reached a point where far-fetched events are happening for the sake of novelty, indicating decline of quality. I mean, I don't
Hmm.
think Adam West's Batman quality could go down.
Yeah,
It's just
I
awesome.
don't think like that's just the way the show was. So I don't really think of it as jumping the shark.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was just the era, and it took off. Obviously, it was on syndication forever. I remember watching it as a kid.
It looked like they were
Um,
having fun. Like,
it did, and it was silly, and there were no stakes, right? Like there were like, oh, this is too realistic or depressing, or this person dies, or they can't pay rent. Like all that stuff was like irrelevant. It was just the stories, and they were dumb.
Batman doesn't kill people, right? Or he didn't.
Right. He doesn't kill. He has like a no killing code, which the irony or the silliness is that like leaving the Joker alive or whoever to kill again, you're indirectly responsible for these bad things that happen to people because you just can't. He doesn't want to cross the line because he thinks if he crosses that line, he can't come back.
I mean,
And
that's
it's probably
interesting.
true for his character. Like he's a really damaged person, right? Like he watched his parents gunned down in front of him. He's rich. He grew up with his butler and traveled the world, and like he should have went to therapy.
Hmm.
but instead he donned a costume and became the world's greatest detective and crime fighter and all that junk. But
Being a
um,
vigilante, just avoiding therapy. It's fine.
yep, you could have just talked to a therapist and it would have been fine. But no, we got Batman instead, which I'm grateful for.
And in the game, he's hanging people upside
Oh
down.
yeah, that I forgot. Yeah, like he's beating the shit out of people,
They're
and also
dead.
yeah, like wrapping them up and hanging them over like a gargoyle statue, and you die from being hung
How
upside
long
down,
can you
and
hang
just like
upside down?
well, and the bone crunching. If he's not killing them, he's paralyzing them or what?
It doesn't seem like very long. I think 3 minutes. I mean, David Blaine hung upside down for 2.5 days or whatever.
I think there's probably a difference between intentionally doing it and Batman punched you, you blacked out,
But
and you were
I'm
hung
just
upside
saying,
down.
if I'm a whatever Batman is fighting in that game, employee of Arkham Asylum or whatever was happening, and I get hung upside down, how do I know they're going to find me in time? Blood's rushing to my head. Mm-mm.
I mean, the way he beats them up in general,
Yeah.
like even if they do find them, they have broken arms, broken legs. Uh, it's funny because in the video games they're especially brutal.
This episode is brought to you by workers' rights. If you're a worker, you have rights, and your job may not really want you to know about them. Depending where you live, you have some very specific ones when it comes to your workplace. In the US, you have the right to fair pay. The Fair Labor Standards Act has rules about minimum wage, overtime, record keeping, and child labor. It's complicated, but it's also simple. Federal minimum wage is $7.25 an hour as of 2009, and that's too low. If you think you're being underpaid and overworked, you probably don't have time to read a long-ass legal document. Instead, you can contact the Department of Labor in the US, assuming we still have a government when this airs. If you're in Canada, try the Ministry of Labor or Google for your province. Sometimes you have to file within 90 days of the incident. So hopefully you aren't working 85 out of the next 90 hours. You have the right in the US to take unpaid leave under the Family and Medical Leave Act, FMLA. Your job must be protected if you take time off for specified family and medical reasons. But please pay attention to the rules. If you don't say the right things, like I'm taking today off to care for my approved family member, your job can say, she didn't say the magic words, and try to sidestep your immunity. There are actual child labor laws. Though they may yearn for the mines, we cannot send them back there. Of course, there are also specific protections for farm workers, restaurant workers, and H-2B workers, regardless of their immigration status. Or at least we still have those laws on paper. So, here are my top 5 takeaways, having worked for jobs before. Number 1, remember, your workplace is not a family. They will replace you faster than you can say. Why do I have to give 2 weeks notice if you can fire me on the spot? Number 2, take advantage of everything they offer you. So many jobs have a million programs that they never need to pay out because the employees don't know about them. Parking reimbursement, mileage, free cappuccino machine. Figure out the rules and go nuts. Take all your breaks. Don't feel bad about it. Don't overwork yourself because they refuse to hire enough staff. Not your circus, not your monkeys. A meeting is outside your work hours? Are you getting paid to be there? Are you getting reimbursed for mileage? What happens if you're in an accident on the way to the meeting? Is that a workplace injury? Use all your vacation days, all your sick days, and don't feel a single bit of guilt about it. They're yours to use. Does your job offer 401k match? Take advantage of it. Paid volunteer days? Use them. College or university reimbursement? That's how I got my associate's degree for basically free at a local college. Some jobs even match charitable contributions up to a certain amount. If you can, make them support the causes you love. Number 3, discuss your wages. The only way women find out they're getting paid less for the same job is by asking their coworkers. Lots of jobs will tell you not to discuss your salary. They'll say it's impolite or not encouraged. But why are they saying that? Because they don't want you to know that your do-nothing boss makes 10 times your pay. That will be very unsettling, and you might ask why, and that's just not encouraged. So do it. Number 4. While you're at it, ask for a raise. Ask what you'll need to do to get one, and then do those things. If they seem puzzled by this question and they don't have a system set up for this or an answer for you, then you already know you're not getting that raise, no matter how much you do. So take those breaks. Number 5. Every job I've ever had told me that unions are bad, which means unions threaten capitalist corporations, which means they benefit workers. Yes, some union leaders are corrupt. Lots of leaders are corrupt. Lots of systems are imperfect. But here was the argument a job told me about a union. If the workers make a union, they'll ask for higher wages. If we give higher wages, we can't have as many employees. So some employees will have to be let go. At the same time, CEOs are making millions and higher-ups are getting performance bonuses. If they have to make it work, they will. They just don't have to. They're lying or telling a lie that they believe. But frontline workers make the machine run. Your do-nothing boss can't step up. He's too weighted down by his overinflated salary. All this to say, you should be making more than $7.25 an hour. Don't let them tell you otherwise. Don't let them convince you you're being difficult by asking questions. You're not making their job harder when you call in sick. They're making their own job harder by understaffing. If they want your best, they need to pay for it. And show a little respect. You're making their paycheck possible. Shout out to all the jobs not counting the minutes on bathroom breaks out there. I currently work for them. Now back to the episode.
And in the Spider-Man games, which they play kind of similar. They're not the same at all, but like they have some kind of like combat feels the same or a little bit the same. And in that game, like Spider-Man can throw people off the roof and whatever. But if you go look after you do that, like they get webbed to the side of the building. And if you watch while you're throwing them, like out of their body, like a web shoots to the wall and then pulls them back. And I'm just like, well, I mean, that just the force of that would kill you. And
Yeah. And you're stuck to a building 40 feet in the air or whatever, 10 stories
and
up.
the webs, at least in most cases, his webs dissolve after an hour. So,
So there's
you're on a
got to be a
skyscraper.
medic following Batman around, like treating everybody as quick as possible, and some sanitation workers
See,
cutting down everyone in Spider-Man.
like that would be like a great concept for a story. Like you're like the cleaner upper. You're part of the crew that comes after the big battles and has to fix everything.
Instead of like the ambulance chaser, you're like the vigilante chaser. You're like, oh, he's
Yeah.
at it again.
Well, I think in the comics there's like Batman insurance in Gotham now because of all the damage he does. Like you can get insurance against his chaos.
That's fair enough. Well, he looks cool too. He's got a new cape. So now you got to pick the last door.
One.
Okay. I couldn't put any kind of bottle on her because I couldn't think of a.
She's not absolute.
But it's Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow.
Yeah, I actually have that here.
She's not absolute, so she not that multiverse.
This was a great story. It goes back to like that slice of life kind of storytelling, and almost like a voiceover, but in print format. The comic follows Supergirl and this young woman. I don't even know what the planet she's from is. But anyway, like Supergirl's there vacationing on her 21st birthday because they have a red sun and that allows her to get drunk. Like in the yellow sun, which like what we have here, her and Clark, their metabolisms are altered by whatever makes them super and they can't get drunk. So Supergirl turned 21, took crypto to this planet, was, celebrating and ran into this girl whose father was killed by, some brigand kind of person, piratey, not like a pirate, but, just like that kind of rebel, just mean person. And so the girl is trying to find somebody to hire to kill him, right? Like, you kill my father, I'm going to kill you now.
Prepare to die.
Right. So Supergirl's all drunk talking to the girl, and the girl tries to kill the dude like in the bar, like that. She tracks him down and whatever. So it's just chronicling their journey together. It's really cool because again, it shows like the parts of the super person that they're not known for, right? Like Supergirl is very compassionate, but a little rough, right? Superman's like the perfect like Boy Scout, right? Like, or whatever we used to think of in that regard. Like, he's clean cut, tries to do the right thing, heroic, whatever. In this continuity, Supergirl's trying to figure things out. But she always does stuff for other people. She puts herself on the line. It was just a really good story. It was just a really cool story to see how she dealt with things before her powers returned from leaving the Red Sun, and um, how she shouldered the burden of a lot of the plot points of the story for the other girl. And I think it was really interesting. So it was really good. I read it all in like a day and a half.
And then that story is done, or that's the volume of it or whatever?
Yeah, I think it was just like the telling of the story.
Okay.
Like I don't think there was more to it.
And is that what this new movie is based on?
Yeah. So the movie is taking plot points from this comic, basically.
Oh, so how long ago did the comic come out that they're making a movie about?
I don't know when it originally came out. But it's been a while. It's been reprinted multiple times. I just really enjoyed reading it. It made me feel like, damn, like it's just another person. Like, she's just another
That's
one
more
of us.
compelling than someone who can do everything.
One, she does like a lot of painful and sad things. Like, spoiler. So if you want to read this comic, turned away for a bit. She stops the girl from killing a guy, but kills him herself.
Mhm.
Like, she doesn't want the girl to do it, the young woman, and instead she does it because like she can bear it or whatever.
Right.
And like she really can't, because she's like really sad, but does it anyway because he hurt her dog. He killed Crypto at the beginning of the story, and I guess he didn't actually do it, but yeah, spoilers. She's selfless, and she's also teaching this woman like how to be, like, about washing hands and how you interact with people across the galaxy. And it was just a really, really cool story.
It says it came out in 2022.
So it's recent.
Yeah, and for them to make a movie about it already, it seems fast, but
Yeah.
maybe they know.
I mean, I think it's just part of James Gunn's like DCU, like the universe they're establishing with the Superman and Peacemaker stuff. So I think it's gonna slot in. I don't think it'll be one for one.
No.
And it's usually not. I think MCU did it really well early on, especially. It was just, it's familiar. You kind of know what the stories are, but you don't know exactly how they're going to get there.
Mm.
And some stuff's just completely different, right? Like, there's like in the new movie, Lobo's in it, but he's not in the comic version. So like there's stuff that they're adding because it's part of a shared world and stuff. So
Yeah, and some characters might be more interesting to see in a movie for a few seconds than they are to put into a whole story. Maybe they just want to show up for a
That's right.
cameo.
Yeah.
Her outfit looks similar the whole time too, except sometimes she doesn't have her little skirt.
Yeah, that was that like the Snyderverse kind of took that away, and some versions of her don't have it. And there's also Superwoman, and there's other characters, but like Supergirl's like, sometimes she's considered the strongest being. Like, it's pretty accepted that she's stronger than Clark. She doesn't hold back like he does, at the very least. But it's kind of implied that she's just straight up stronger.
And she's also from the same family, so she has the S. But Superwoman is from a different family?
Sometimes it's Lois Lane when she gets powers. Yeah.
So then she
There's just
has
so
the
many
S also, even though it's not S for super person.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in some versions she's his cousin. Other versions she's from a neighboring planet in the solar system.
Supergirl or Superwoman?
Supergirl.
Okay. Yeah, I thought she was
This character. Yeah. Sometimes she's from Krypton. Other times she is from a neighboring planet in the solar system that was also destroyed when Krypton blew up. Like, it affected the orbits and all that stuff. And I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot of different versions of her.
And I think this was a CW show. I remember there was a CW show for all of them.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with the CW stuff, so I can't really comment on anything, but it was popular.
Yeah.
It was very popular. People liked the show, and they liked the actress, and So they did something right there.
And I think I looked up, she was early on mentioned in Superman.
Well, a lot of the times back then, they like to add like the gender swapped character.
Oh,
They call him Shazam now, but like Captain Marvel, and they added like the whole Marvel family and had different ethnicities and women. I think it was just like back then that just the mentality was like, oh, we need a comic to sell to girls now, so we have to put a girl character. But I like that she's kind of one of the pillars of the universe and the DC universe now. I think it's cool that she has that mantle. She ends up doing a lot more cosmic stuff.
Says she was on
And
1959.
Superman's like 1920 something.
And it was kind of like they were floating her like in the issue or whatever. They were like, what if we had a Supergirl, right? And if people really liked it, they made her comic.
Yeah, like a soft pilot.
Yeah,
and
a little
whatever.
backdoor pilot.
Backdoor pilot, yeah.
Another CSI on the way.
That's right. CSI Toronto.
Yes, that would be interesting, eh?
No.
So, those are your 3 doors, and they're all winners. Or they're all goats. Greatest of all times.
I don't know. I I can't pick a goat for anything, so I will say
remember
no, they're
these
not goats because
Remember?
goats don't exist.
Remember see what I did there?
I do. I didn't at first, but now I do.
I think that's a successful door game. A Monty Hall, if I've ever seen one. Which I haven't.
Was Monty Hall the weird one who like kissed people too?
Maybe.
Or was that like he had that really long
No,
microphone stick?
I think you're thinking of that guy who was the host on what's the one where they're all on the wall?
Celebrity.
No, it's like
something?
we did a poll and this many people said.
The one where with Steve Harvey now.
Yeah, Steve Harvey.
Survey says.
Host.
I forgot the name of the game. Family Feud.
Okay, so Family Feud. That's the one I think you're thinking of. Family Feud
I think it
host.
is. He would always walk up
He'd
to
kiss everybody.
the women on the teams and just like kiss them on the lips and be like, oh, like
yeah, that was strange. It was way back.
The first one.
Richard Dawson, maybe.
I think so.
No, I don't think Monty Hall, the Canadian, was doing that. I don't recognize him. Again, I don't think I've ever seen the show. It's like he changed his name.
Winnipeg. What was his original name?
Monty Halperin.
Oh.
Just made it a little shorter. From Winterpeg.
Winnipeg.
I know, but they call it Winterpeg.
Oh, I didn't know that. I need to learn.
The more you know. We wind down on Words About Stuff with a bit of introspection. What's been working for you lately?
Trying to like organize my schedule a little better and make it fit in the interlocking pieces of the family's schedule, right? Like
what does that mean?
So I use Google Calendar.
Yeah.
I use a program called Asana. They're mostly just like digital calendars, and that's been working better for me than other things.
If someone wants to learn more about these comics or other comics, what should they do?
You can go to library, at least the local ones that I've been to have a graphic novel / comic section. DC and Marvel, which are the bigger publishers, they have an app where you can pay and monthly or yearly where you can read a large catalog of their characters and you can sort by author, artist. Also visit your local comic shop. I know they're not as prevalent as they used to be, but you can do that. A lot of comic stores will have even a service where they'll put comics aside for you every week that you request, and then you can go in and pick them up and make a day of it. Get out in the community and see people, talk to people.
That sounds good. And if someone wants more of you or your art or RAD Studio, where should they go?
I'm on Threads a lot at RAD Studio _ also on Instagram, you can check that out. And I also have a website, radstudioart.com.
Thank you so much for joining us again for part 2. And as Stanley always said, Excelsior.